Hey, are you ready to take control of your financial future? Welcome to Private Money Club. Private Money Club is the ultimate online platform connecting real estate entrepreneurs with private money lenders just like you. Whether you're looking to fund your next deal or lend money to grow your wealth, Private Money Club is your go-to resource. You can post deals, find funding, connect with other like-minded professionals. It's just a community. It's a community that you need to plug into. If you're new to the game, no problem. Our Learn platform and our weekly coaching webinars and our on-demand resources are here to guide you every step of the way. Join a thriving network of real estate experts who are already making an impact, and they're waiting to partner with you. So Private Money Club gives you the tools, the training, the connections, and everything you need to achieve your financial goals. So why don't you start now by going to privatemoneyclub.com. We'll see you inside. Hey, you need to become your own bank. And it's as simple as changing one thing, and that is where your money goes first. I mean, think about it. Household debts in this country are at all-time highs. You got tons of market volatility. You got the potential for Social Security running out of money. You've got global uncertainty, political divide, and you have to figure out where you're going to put your hard-earned savings. I mean, this is one of those times in history where the rich are getting richer, and it is time to learn the secrets of the wealthy. But here's the good news. Every single Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I put on a free webinar where I teach you how to take back control of your money by teaching you how to become your own bank. So click the link below and let's get started. So let's go into the app, because the app was created after a dating site, believe it or not. So people with money and people that need money. Phone, swipe left. Swipe left. Ooh, I like that one. Swipe right. You want to go on. If you got money, you want to swipe left through all the deals. When you find one you like, boom, you're connected. How much more difficult does this really need to be? This isn't rocket science. They want you to think it is because they want control of your money. It is time to take back control of our money. I want to invite you to a free interactive webinar that we're doing to teach you how to get prepared for what's about to happen and how you can grow, preserve, and protect your wealth and get it ready for a recession or maybe the next Great Depression. So all I need you to do is click the link below. You're not going to want to miss this with all this stuff going on. Are you sick of having your money lying around not doing anything? Well, we've got the solution for you. PrivateMoneyClub.com. Back to you, Chris. So that's what it is. Private Money Club was created for you and for all of us. So I've got something special. Since you're here, you're listening to us talk to you about the infinite banking concept, I wanted to make an offer. Private Money Club is something that will benefit each of you, but we've got what's called the Accelerator. The Private Money Club Accelerator is a coaching program that takes together the knowledge that you'll need to be your own bank and puts it together with the opportunities in Private Money Club so that now you learn and apply the knowledge. Check it out. We got a very special offer for you to be part of the next Accelerator coaching program and get you into Private Money Club so your money starts working for you.
Hey everybody, it's Buff Finance Guy here, ready to show you how to make some serious gains. But not only in the gym, with your wallet too. Most people put their money in the bank doing absolutely nothing for them. But I'm gonna show you how it doesn't have to be that way. So take Andrew here. His money has just been sitting lazy in the bank. But all he has to do is change one thing, and that's where the money goes first, and everything changes. Just change where your money goes first, silly.
Wait, just one change?
Yeah, that's it. Instead of sending it to the bank, you send it to your very own banking system. And your money can grow and get stronger, just like me.
It's time for Money School TV. You heard it straight from the horse's mouth.
And The Money School TV strives to bring you the most relevant content of how money really works, past, present, and future. It's not a one-size-fits-all system. This platform provides you with ways to implement strategic decisions while avoiding fear-based decisions at all costs. Totally digital with new content added all the time on financial wealth creation strategies and how to regain control of your money. This 2-hour monthly group coaching with Chris Naugle is available now for only $19 per month. This is something you don't want to miss. Click the link below to get access now.
Whoa! I feel great. My money's not being lazy anymore, it's getting swole. Just like me.
Attaboy, Andrew. No more lazy cash. Now your money is growing, strong, and totally under your control.
Wow, thanks, Buff Bayonet Sky. Now I'm ready to grow my wealth and feel as good as I look.
So if you want to learn more on how you can compound your money and your muscles, I'm at BYOB.
You have to be a part of it.
Do whatever it takes to get here.
Get your ass up and come.
So here we are out in Las Vegas, Nevada, at Dream Racing for the experience. We brought the whole team, the whole clan out here to race exotic sports cars like this GT4 RS. This is what making memories is all about.
Together, we create experiences for each other, around each other, and memories we get to create.
This is my third experience, and I love it. Being at the experience brings out the camaraderie, being around like-minded people. It just brings out the best in you.
I don't know why the rest of you aren't here. It's an amazing event. I have never missed one since they started 3 years ago.
The breathing exercises to the mental, the Brent Kessler to now the racing to just the overall mindset. Your network is your net worth.
We can sit in a room all day, listen to the speakers, or we can come out here, make some quick laps, learn how to drive, and make memories that last a lifetime. You should be here next time.
Well, the biggest thing I hope that people get is something that they can actually apply in their lives. You know, that's the biggest thing for any of these events that we want. We want people to leave here not just riled up, not just excited, but actually going out and doing something that'll put them in a better financial situation, help their family. And for the speakers, my goal is that they go out and they impact the audience and bring something the audience never had exposure to that allows them to then fill in that piece that they're looking for. I'm going to be talking about more lease options. I'm going to be talking about equity shares. I'm going to be talking about a bunch of fun stuff today. Because again, I'm not here to teach about how to do those deals. I'm here to teach about how to invest in those deals.
Filled with individuals that are like-minded, that are at the top of their craft, they're at the top of their game. And for anybody that's an attendee, it's just a mind-blowing experience.
It's almost going to be hard to speak anywhere else but here because it was such a great experience. I felt like, I don't know. It was amazing. Nothing less than amazing, literally.
At the PMC Money Tank event, which is an epic event that we're putting together that does one thing and one thing only. Makes everybody money. It brings people with money together with people that need money. It's like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. You just smash them together and everybody wins.
Wednesday, 10:30 Eastern Standard Time. Do it live!
All right, here we are. Another week, another What the F happened. And today we've got a show for you. Wow. I mean, come on. Starting out with Ozzy Osbourne. Like, I grew up with the Ozman and the bat and, all the stuff that he did. And it's kind of funny, Stephen, when I think about Ozzy Osbourne, I think about like how long of a life he had. And that dude tried to destroy his body. Literally, I can't think of any other rock star, maybe a couple, but he's at the top of rock stars that just abused them. And who's that other guy that used to do that, like that dancing thing? He lived the same age. I saw a meme about that, but we're going to talk about the Russia collusion. We're going to talk about Mr. Obama and his involvement. We're going to talk about the economy, and is it real what you're seeing in the news, or are the numbers being juiced? We're going to talk about Mr. Jerome Powell at the Fed, and how much longer is he going to be around? We're going to also talk about a really cool article I started reading this morning about should PhDs be the people running the country's economy and making those kind of decisions, because literally PhDs are trained specialists. They should be research analysts, not teachers, not people making policy. But anyway, outside of that, Stephen, what other really cool topics do we have in WTF today?
Man, I've been loading this show up with crazy stories because they just seem to keep popping out every single day, something new. But yeah, the Late Show with Stephen Colbert was canceled, and the reactions to that have just been absolutely wild to see. The man behind The Big Short, the guy that predicted 2008, Michael Berry, is currently buying put options against NVIDIA and Chinese stocks. Is he predicting something again? We'll see. All kinds of stuff though, Chris.
Well, we got the crypto bill that just passed too. I mean, that's one. I mean, we hear about that all the time. People are like, oh, crypto, Bitcoin, it's the best thing. Well, the crypto bill, what's that going to do? Now, all these coins, these stable coins, they're going to be a 1-to-1 now. That before it was like, hey, one stable coin is, they used leverage, and that's not going to happen because now it's 1-to-1. What else do we got on the highlights here for the economy? We've got, we got Japan. Dude, Japan and the U.S. just struck a massive deal. I don't know all about it. I read an entire article on it. It was basically saying we're gonna take their tariff and we're gonna reduce it on cars, but then Japan has committed $900 billion, if I'm not mistaken, into the U.S. We're gonna cover that and what that's gonna mean, because that's a massive deal. And the Trumpster says we're keeping 90% of the profit. Stephen, please find me a deal that basically we get $900 billion and we keep 90% of the profit. Why aren't you out there cutting deals like that, man?
I got to get busy for sure.
But we've got so much to talk about today, folks, and a lot of really fun stuff. So make sure if any of you have great comments or things you want to hear about, bring them up. But we're going to be right back to talk about the economy after this. All right, let's just dive right into this, Stephen. Let's talk about Japan, man. I gotta when we're talking about the economy, I'm thinking like the economy's been getting beat up by Trump and all of his, there's gonna be a tariff, then there's not gonna be a tariff, then there's gonna be a bigger tariff, then there's not gonna be a tariff, then there's gonna be this if they don't make a deal by this date. Anyway, I don't know about any of you, but if you can keep track of it, if all of you have like a chronological chart of all the nonsense that's been going on with tariffs, like kudos to you. You have way too much free time, because for us, we haven't been able to even keep track. But I will say some of the deals that have been struck by this administration are pretty monumental. So like, I want to bring this one up. And Stephen, do you want to share the screen about the Japanese, like, and what we just did with Japan? And the markets are rallying over this. So obviously Wall Street's loving this. But yeah, pop that up there. And basically, just if any of you need to know what's going on here, the president and Japan struck a deal. And once he gets this article up there, I'll show it to you, that it's worth about $900 billion. And supposedly we're getting like 90% of the profit. And I think one of the other things is, if you let me take it back in time here. If we go back in time and we look at Japan. So back in the 80s, I remember this vividly.
I was a young boy, and I remember seeing all the commercials, because back then all we did is just watched, we just watched cartoons on TV. Unlike, we didn't have tablets or phones, we just watched cartoons. And I always used to see the commercials come on where it was like an airplane dropping cars and all sorts of goods on the US. That was like back then, Japan dropping inexpensive cars that the Americans wanted, and those inexpensive cars were fuel efficient, unlike the American made cars. And it literally hit the American automaking industry massively. So swift response was the US placed tariffs on these imports of cars into the US. So what did Japan do? They basically, I don't want to say complied, but they said, hey, listen, what if we manufacture the cars in the US? What if we create hundreds of millions of jobs, sorry, not hundreds of millions, but what if we create thousands, if not tens of thousands of jobs, and bring hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars into the US? Is that cool? So, as you all know, Toyotas and Hondas and lots of Japanese cars are made here, but we still import a lot of cars. We also import a lot of rice and other things from Japan. And if I'm not mistaken, we right now have tariffs in place at about 25%. So this deal includes them reducing those tariffs down to 15%, which is a huge win for Japan. So much of a win that, Stephen, what does it say? Am I right in saying 900 billion is what they were going to put in?
I'm trying to see that. I say Trump announced the deal last night. The agreement includes reciprocal tariffs of 15% on the nation's exports to the U.S. The president also said the U.S. is meeting with European officials in a push to reach a trade deal. A lot of trade deals coming in.
We got the European trade deal that's on. Literally, they got to figure that thing out pretty quickly here.
We have investors awaiting earnings today of Alphabet and Tesla after the bell today. A lot going on in the markets for sure. I'm trying to see the 900,000.
Or no, 900 billion. But nonetheless, we don't need to do that. I read it this morning. I might be off of my dollars a little bit, but it was like 900 billion being invested in the U.S. from Japan, and we are keeping 90% of the profit. So whether I'm right or wrong, I'll let you guys tell me. I'm sure somebody in the comments is doing the AI searches. I read something else, and I was like, holy cow, that is me. They were basically saying, people my age and older, we use AI for like Google searches. And I'm like, oh, yeah. That is what I'm using AI for. But then my team is using AI to take two contractual documents, compare them to find discrepancies between the two. They're using AI for all sorts of really crazy stuff. And we're going to hit on AI in a second. But let's move over. You had mentioned, and this is all about the economy. You had mentioned Michael Burry and how he's betting against NVIDIA. Like, do you want to talk about that one a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, it's Michael Burry, from The Big Short, which by the way, great book, turned into a movie, obviously, but one of my favorite authors, Michael Lewis. But Michael Burry was known for kind of, being the one that recognized what was going on in the markets back before 2008 with the credit default swaps and all the craziness that they did with, all the non-performing mortgages and all the lending that they did. And, he bet against it and became a billionaire because of it. And so he's now coming out and kind of, he likes to try and make predictions and bet against stuff. So Michael Burry bets against NVIDIA and Chinese stocks via put options. He's of course the founder of Scion Asset Management. He's, let's see if we see any specifics here.
Well, my question about Michael Burry is, he's been doing this a lot. If you've been following Burry the last couple of years, he's always betting against something, but it seems like his bets are always wrong. So I'd almost like to see a side-by-side of like, here's Michael Burry's bets and here's Michael Burry's wins. Like, which ones did he win? Which ones did he lose? So, but hey, if he's betting against NVIDIA, he knows a little something because he's going deep on that one. All right. Well, let's talk a little bit about the Senate crypto bill that passed. I think this is an interesting one, and there's some. Let me find my article on this one because there was some really interesting stuff that I just read about this. That's gonna, I think, affect some people. Some people are in a big way. Let me just hit some of the big ones. The Genius Act, stable coin regulations. I hit this earlier, but it's a new law requiring 1-to-1 reserves. In other words, these stable coins right now, they're not 1-to-1. And that's where the risk comes in because like 1-to-1, meaning like
we're going to say that the stable coin is worth $1. Well, you got to have $1 in reserves. So that kind of makes sense, right? So right now you could say, hey, this stable coin is worth $1, but it might only be, it's all wacky in terms of how they're using leverage. So they're knocking that down and clarifying that. They also said that clarifies the SEC and the CFTC's roles in crypto oversight, and that's now heading to the Senate. And then the anti-CBDC Act blocks the Fed, and this I thought was key, blocks the Fed from issuing CBDC and basically addressing privacy concerns about that. And the regulatory agencies are also making strides in crypto regulation with one law passed and 2 bills are pending. So that's this article right here that we saw. And as you can see, folks, when you're going to see today's show, we've got like 100 items. So we're just glancing the surface of this stuff. So we didn't go deep into any of these articles, but we're just covering the surface, trying to bring this stuff to you to let you know, hey, there's so much stuff happening. The rules are changing. The game is changing, literally not by the day, but by the minute. And that's probably the best I can give you on this new crypto stuff, but we'll get more on that.
Well, here's my thing with it, Chris, is, so all of this, it says in the last sentence of this article, the crypto community has long pushed for regulatory transparency with 1 bill signed into law and 2 more pending Senate review. The momentum marks a pivotal shift in the U.S. approach to digital finance. But my challenge, my issue with this is that a good thing? Is having a digital currency a good thing for the United States, for freedom, for us as American citizens? To me, a digital currency gives government ultimate control. And so, a Republican Party right now that's all about, personal freedoms and not having government overreach and the rest of it, it to me just seems a little contradictory that they're pushing for all of these digital currency regulations and walking the line towards implementing this stuff into our lives.
Well, I don't know. See, I see it a different way than you.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's interesting.
I see it differently than you because, like, reading this, it's saying that this blocks the Fed. So when you think about who prints dollars, who authorizes monetary policy, it's the Fed. So this is actually blocking the Fed from addressing, from issuing a CBDC. So I think actually, and who knows, more will come out of this. I think they're actually trying to prevent the Fed from creating a CBDC, keeping the dollar as the milestone. Yeah. That's how I'm reading it. Now, I might have that wrong. Now, audience. Oh, also, here's Lazy Cash, folks. He's here for the show, too. What's everybody else think about that? So we got people coming in from Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and all around. What do you all think about that? Like, do you think this new crypto bill is trying to push us towards CBDC and take the things? Obviously, when you think of the crypto world and Bitcoin, it's decentralized, meaning no government, no regulation, but just no government, I guess is the best way to say that. But now they're regulating it, yes, which I think there needed to be some oversight on it. But is that pushing us toward it, or is that still keeping us, where the dollar is the almighty and we're just trying to control it like we would a stock or an ETF?
Yeah.
Anyone say anything? Nope. Easy to control and shut off. Ask your neighbors to the north. Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, let's hope that's the thing. The challenge, the problem, though, in my opinion, though, again, is administration lasts for another 2.5 years, and then who knows who steps in. And once the framework's in place, does a new administration now say, hey, we've already got all this framework and regulation in place, let's just slide that right in. So to me, an even more important story is Rand Paul coming back out and reintroducing the Federal Reserve Transparency Act. So Rand Paul came out, just a couple of days ago. No institution has more power over your money than the Federal Reserve. Fact check, true. Yet it operates in the shadows. Fact check, true. My Federal Reserve Transparency Act will finally audit the Fed's books, expose wasteful spending, and hold them accountable to the American people. So I love to see this in conjunction with some of the crypto regulation, right, Chris?
Absolutely. Well, let's keep going with the Fed, and then we're going to come back over to the crypto, and we're going to hit on a couple other things that are related to the economy. And definitely, before we do that, let me just transition. So Canadians, I guess, are kind of boycotting Las Vegas. They're pretty much boycotting the U.S. And I was up in Canada, both a lot of us were up in Canada, and I saw a ton of places.
Is it because the Florida Panthers keep winning the Stanley Cup and we're better hockey players? Is that why they're boycotting us?
Absolutely. That's absolutely where this whole thing is stemming from. But nonetheless, you know, it was Canadian made and Canadian owned business. It was basically just like F you, US. But right now, supposedly, and actually here, let me find the article. I just saw this. They're like boycotting. I don't know where I had it, but they're boycotting Las Vegas. I just had an article up and now I can't freaking find it. You know, isn't that just my luck? What the hell is it? But they're boycotting it. And now some of the hotels there are pretty much giving away rooms in something like if you clean your own room and park your own car. Anyway, I think that was James somewhere saying that. I don't know. We got info coming in from every single direction. But back to the Fed. Let me read something here. And I got to kind of flip over here and read it from the screen. Matter of fact, actually, let me just share my screen because I think this is a really good article. And it talks a lot about the Fed here. Let's see. We got this one. Nope. Where is it? There we go. It's a problem when you got lots of screens. All right, so right here, this is just one of those economic news letters we get called the Rude Awakening. So this guy's a teacher, well, he's a professor, I should say, but he's going on and he's talking about something I never really gave too much thought to, but he's really kind of talking about PhDs and how PhDs are teachers, but they're the worst teachers ever. And he's talking about what a PhD is. And it's someone that spends the better part of a decade learning about how to be specialized in a particular area. And then he's saying up here, he's saying very specialized. You spent at least half of a decade burrowing into a rabbit hole so deep that most normal people would rather stick pins in their eyes than join you. That's essentially what it takes to get a PhD, so he says. But when it comes to seeing the big picture, think of the Fed, right? That's a big picture. It's our monetary policy, making policy decisions that affect 330 million people in the US and billions more abroad, or heaven forbid, teaching your average PhD is like a man with a flashlight in the cave, blinded the second he steps into daylight. And I thought about this, and you think about the Fed, all these guys are like PhDs and all these other things. And then here, Mortimer J. Adler, one of the last great true public intellectuals, who told us bluntly decades ago, the worst teachers in the world are PhDs. So this guy's pretty much just saying here in this entire article of why do we have a bunch of PhDs running this country, running the Fed, and are they the best? Whoops. Are they the best people to be doing so? Dude, how do I even get out of this? I don't want to leave the studio. All right. Anyway, Stephen, I don't even like with there we go. These tech platforms, they keep changing things. Now they got like this X here, and I'm supposed to just know that you click the X to stop sharing your screen. Now I know all of you are laughing. You're probably like, yeah, duh. Maybe I'm a PhD, Stephen. What else do we got going on here?
It's just the Federal Reserve. It just shows you how much power they have. And, you know, Trump is still going after Jerome Powell and, you know, the back and forth, and it's supposed to not be political, but it makes you wonder some of the questions that they have. I mean, so when you look at like Rand Paul's bill, for example, Chairman Powell has faced scrutiny for the $2.5 billion in renovations he authorized for 2 federal buildings. So it's like all this stuff comes out. So Paul's bill, the Federal Reserve Transparency Act, would require a complete audit of all the Federal Reserve's operational activities and mandated enhancement of its decision-making through increased congressional oversight. I mean, why would somebody be against wanting to like audit the Federal Reserve and actually see what's going on? I mean, it's never been done. So like, how deep does the corruption go that you would vote against something like that? I mean, the most powerful organization in the world, you know, and it just goes to show you how much power is out there, though. It's wild.
It is wild. Absolutely wild. But other things in the news, we'll just hit real high or real fast, you know, as we kind of get through the economy, and then we're going to move to the U.S. But go ahead, Steve.
I'll just hit them as we go here. So GM, General Motors shares T-boned by tariffs. So GM came out yesterday. The stock is diving 7% after the auto giant reported a 32% slump in quarterly profits due to a $1.1 billion hit from the tariffs, which GM says will worsen in the current quarter. So that's the headline, Chris. You know,
Dude, General Motors, no disrespect, but they've always been the whining little bitch in the room, have they not? Always crying about this, that, and the other thing, why their sales are down, why they're not able to be competitive. Like, fucking grow up. Like, just grow up and stop your crying. Like,
I mean, their flagship product, the Cadillac Escalade, is like $130,000 SUV in today's economy, and you wonder why your sales are slumping. Maybe it's not the tariffs. Maybe it's because you friggin' overprice your cars.
Yeah, put GM, okay, GM cars, and I like their trucks. Their trucks are pretty badass, but put them up against Toyota. Like, you will find no comparison, right? Like, a Toyota is just a far better made car than a GM car, and a lot less money. Like, and if you want to compare Cadillac, like compare Cadillac to Lexus. Those new Lexuses are crushing Cadillac sales. I don't know, man. I think GM does a great job of just bitching and moaning at every little thing because they got the government that just bails them out. Well, it doesn't seem like the government wants to bail GM out anymore. And GM, hey, they need to bring some of their manufacturing back to the U.S. Like, you want to talk about the tariff shit? Like, stop making your cars in Mexico. Stop buying your parts in Canada. Bring that shit back here. Anyway, that's my rant for there. But also in the economy, like,
so there's been some. Do you want me to keep rolling? Go ahead.
Yeah, keep going, man. Keep going.
So there's been jobs updates. So this just came out a few days ago. It's kind of, just asking what's happening. So the BLS just said, the Bureau of Labor Statistics just said the number of jobs reported for the 9 months ending December 2024, so basically the last 3 quarters of last year, was likely overstated by around 800,000 jobs. It comes as the quarterly census of employment and wages data covering 97% of employers show the U.S. added 607,000 jobs during the period, which is 57% lower than the initially reported 1.4 million in the monthly non-payroll reports. In other words, there was an unprecedented almost $800,000 job gap between the NFP data and the quarterly census of employment wages data from March to December last year. Likely overstated 88,000 jobs per month on average during that time, which is, we've talked a lot about the revision, the downward revisions, trying to make, the Biden administration kept trying to make all the numbers look better than they were. And then, months or years later, they revised down. So just continuing to see that trend happen. This just came out 4 days ago. Pretty amazing.
All right.
The last thing I wanted to hit was just some statistics on housing. And I won't get completely into this with this. It's a pretty good little 3-minute watch. Speaking of PhD, this is maybe one of the rare PhDs on X that actually is a pretty decent commentator. But he just said America's renters population just hit an all-time record of 46 million households. The problem is net worth is $400,000 for homeowners. For renters, is just $10,000. So definitely seeing, that kind of middle class, I guess, gap, you could say, Chris, just continue to really separate right now in this country.
He's a PhD, so he knows.
Yeah, he's actually got pretty good stuff, though. But that's pretty interesting, though. Net worth $400,000 for homeowners and $10,000 for renters. Just at 46 million renters in this country. So,
but yeah, like that article and that whole thing I did about like the miss, the builders and the real estate developers, that there's massive miss. They built not affordable housing that people need. They built luxury apartment buildings that people can't afford, and that's why the vacancy is so high right now. That's why there's like real estate investors. They're just a mess right now. It's almost like, they're just like a mosquito. It's just following the scent, right? And it's just like they kept hearing, hey, there's a huge shortage in housing, huge shortage in apartments. So then they run their numbers that make it look good on paper, make it look good for the bank, but then they build the exact thing that the market is telling them that they don't want when they wanted affordable housing, but it wasn't profitable to build affordable housing. So they built luxury apartment buildings, mixed use things with retail and luxury, and then they wonder why their vacancies are double digits. No disrespect to any of you real estate investors, but like the facts and the data were there, you just ignored them. So stop your belly aching and crying about why you're not doing as well as you are. You should have built affordable, and that is a PhD showing you exactly why. Like,
and the other thing, on top of that, there's also crazy regulations along the part of the country. I mean, look at California, for example, and just the the terrible real estate problems they have out there. But this is a great example. Check this out. So it's kind of making fun of the iron law of San Francisco real estate, but it's showing this 16-bedroom apartment complex that just sold for 1.5 million right downtown San Francisco. And they're joking that, a little tiny 2-bedroom condo a block down the road sells for even more money because nobody wants to buy the commercial property because of California laws around renters. Nobody can make it profitable. So
I'll bet you any money that place is probably fully occupied and nobody's paying rent.
Right, exactly. So it sells for pennies on the dollar because who wants to
And
own
you can't evict them.
It's just wild. So I thought that was a pretty good example that kind of brings it all together where we're at.
Yeah,
right now.
yeah. Mr. Newsom. Yeah. Mr. Newsom. All right. Well, we got to move on here, folks. So I'm going to cut to an amazing commercial break and we'll be right back with the US of A.
Hey, are you ready to take control of your financial future? Welcome to Private Money Club. Private Money Club is the ultimate online platform connecting real estate entrepreneurs with private money lenders just like you. Whether you're looking to fund your next deal or lend money to grow your wealth, Private Money Club is your go-to resource. You can post deals, find funding, connect with other like-minded professionals. It's just a community. It's a community that you need to plug into. If you're new to the game, no problem. Our Learn platform and our weekly coaching webinars and our on-demand resources are here to guide you every step of the way. Join a thriving network of real estate experts who are already making an impact, and they're waiting to partner with you. So Private Money Club gives you the tools, the training, the connections, and everything you need to achieve your financial goals. So why don't you start now by going to privatemoneyclub.com. We'll see you inside.
My fellow Americans,
So you know the game.
Oh, yeah. Doing my USA rant. USA. Anyway, let's get into the USA, Stephen. What do we got here? We got right at top headlines, NPR. Everybody knows what the NPR is, right? Stephen, you want to talk about what just happened there? Defunded.
Yeah. So NPR, I think PBS2, public broadcast system, and NPR,
Public radio. It's just public radio.
Right? So
public radio gone wrong. Let's just call it that.
Just a lot of controversy over, do we need these publicly funded media stations, and what does that look like? But when you actually analyze, what they actually, what news they actually bring, I mean, it's basically like propaganda from the Democratic Party. And so the administration, the Congress, they decided, hey, we're no longer going to fund a propaganda wing of the Democratic Party, and defunded them through a bill. So it's passed, it's done with. A lot of complaining, but at the end of the day, I thought this was a pretty good example. So Senator John Kennedy said, NPR CEO Catherine Maurer on CNN this morning. So he's basically, she came out and said, as far as the accusations that were biased, I'd stand up and say, please show me a story that concerns you. So he lays out 5 clips of her just completely being a Democrat hack, pretty much. And I won't play these videos, but they're very, very entertaining. If you get a chance to go and check this out, I would highly recommend it, because it just points out clear as day just how biased NPR really were. I mean, reported that country music and birds are racist, told American people to stop eating beef, and promoted the Russiagate conspiracy, which we'll talk about Russiagate in just a moment, because a lot coming out on that right now this week. No person with a brain above a single-celled organism.
Wait. So,
fair and balanced.
So Steve, you're telling me that birds aren't racist? Just the other day, I was watching a crow and just so you all know, crows are all black. Okay. I was watching a crow, and then right over there was a cardinal, and that cardinal son of a bitch went over there and interrogated that crow. That's racism, man.
Well, the redhead.
That isn't racist. Cardinal attacking a crow. I mean, crow just sat there and took the shit. Anyway.
According to NPR, Chris, I'm not saying me. I agree with the defunding of these people, but
I think NPR, with this whole defunding thing, I think it's a racket. Like it was Harvard, and it's kind of like Trump's just going through. And if you guys remember, he's kind of like, "You're cool, fuck you. You're cool, fuck you." Anyway, that's my take on this whole defunding thing. But, there is some basis behind it. And I think some of these places should not get a nickel. And NPR is done. But let's move on to our buddy Obama. Now, listen, I got to tell you something. And you're probably not going to agree with me. But actually, didn't you used to be a Democrat, Stephen?
Yeah, man.
All right. So I remember when Obama was running. And I was kind of against it, but then, Obama got in, and I remember watching all that stuff. And this is early days of when I was starting to kind of just take a little bit of a stance on politics and kind of being more involved with voting. And all I remember is thinking when Obama comes in, the world's going to end. I'm thinking it's going to all fall apart. It's just going to be a mess. Then Obama came in, and I'm like, well, this dude's kind of presidential. He's a really good speaker. He's he's seemed to be polite and do all the right things as a president. And I didn't like Obamacare, and I still think Obamacare was a massive failure. And I think it is. I was selling health insurance at that time, and I just think it was just a massive miss. But anyway, so now Obama is being called treasonous. He is basically being kind of pinned as the person who put together this whole Russiagate. He was the ringleader, and he came on Fox News of all places, and he's denying it all. He's literally saying these bizarre allegations of the Russia gate. What is your take on this, Stephen? I know you've been following this one, but do you think he's treasonous? Do you think he was behind that? You think he coordinated that whole thing?
It's hard to jump to conclusions. I mean, who knows? I want to think that they will, come out with the story. I mean, it was DNI Tulsi Gabbard who broke this story and released everything and is putting it out there.
Department of National Intelligence, right? DNI.
Yeah,
I'm sure a lot of people are wondering who's that.
So Tulsi Gabbard, and so I think we're going to see a lot come out on this in the coming weeks and months and years. But it's a huge story. It's a huge scandal. I mean, basically the Russian collusion. I mean, I could probably share, 50 different articles and videos, hundreds of hours of just the news media and politicians. And, it was all Russia collusion. Russia, was behind Trump getting elected. It was all Russia for all those years. Mueller and everybody behind it. And all of it was just complete lies. I could play an hour of this whole entire show, Chris, of just a montage videos of just these people lying over and over and over. And it's coming out now. It was all just completely fabricated. And they're saying Obama was the lead person to push it all. So I think it's too early, just like the auto pen we talked about last week and what's coming out with that right now. But I think it's too early to really hit on Russiagate. Right. But I do think it's a big problem.
Well, they're just saying the Russia collusion was all fake. They're saying Russia's fake news, 2-minute video. Like you said, there's so many videos. I'm watching one right here on CNN. And now looking back at that, we're like, oh, sometimes you got to. This is why I'm always talking about. You got to go back in time, back in history, to really understand where we're at today, what was right, what was wrong, and dude, just one giant hoax.
I mean, I could just play 60 seconds just to give you an idea of it. Chris.
Yeah, let's play that because I think we have to.
Russia hacking the election to elect Trump is the end of our democracy. Votes were definitely affected. Russia hacked the election.
I can't see that.
Definitively hack the election.
Russia did hack the election.
There it is.
Russia hacked the election.
Fact, Russia hacked the election.
President-elect Donald Trump still not sounding convinced that Russia hacked the election.
The president does not want to come to terms with the fact that the Russians hacked the election.
President Trump says he still wonders if the Russians hacked the election.
If you can get him to accept that Russia hacked the election, see if you can get him to accept who won the Civil War.
If he admits it, it casts a shadow on his victory over Hillary Clinton.
Russia hacked the election.
Russia hacked the election.
Russia hacked the election.
Russia hacked the election.
Let's be clear, Russia hacked the election. Definitively, Russia hacked the election, and Russia is doing it again now.
Election-related cyber hacking.
Cyber hacking of U.S. elections. Cyber hacking of the election.
Russia was cyber hacking the election.
Russia was cyber hacking the election.
The CIA, the FBI, NSA.
All of these intelligence organizations.
17 intelligence agencies.
All conclude that Russia hacked the election.
If we find out that Donald
I think you get the idea. It's all a complete lie. This was all fabricated, made up, and there was zero truth behind any of it.
I get the idea, but being a visionary and a creator, I just got a great idea, Stephen. How do we go in and hack the news media to get them to literally just repeat the same thing? Take back control of your money by being your own bank. Take back control of your money by being your own bank. You want to get ahead in life. Take back control of your money by being your own bank. How do we accomplish that? Because that was miraculous. Like, come on. You back in that time couldn't have watched any news station and not heard the exact same lines and been like, well, maybe there was a Russia collusion. And now we know there wasn't. But we definitely know that taking back control of your money by you becoming your own bank is really good for your family's financial future.
Yeah.
Stephen, you're not yourself today. What's going on over there? Did you not drink enough coffee?
You're
definitely out of it.
It's just unprecedented, man. It's almost depressing just seeing this stuff. It's like
you literally look like you just saw a ghost. I just was like looking at the screen and I'm like, what just happened to Stephen? Did anyone else see that? Anyone of you watching this? I mean, we got like 100 people watching. Like, anyone see that?
How is this okay, though?
No one said it was okay. No one said it was okay. But when you listen, like every morning, we're going to go a little off topic here, but every morning I listen to Earl Nightingale. And Earl Nightingale often talks about, creators versus conformists. And literally, like, the numbers don't lie. 95% of every person you're ever going to meet has conformed to what somebody else's belief system is. So what you just saw is exactly that. The 95% getting people to conform to their viewpoint, whether it was true or not true, whether it was right or wrong. It's just conforming. And he talks about success. It's in The Strangest Secret in the World. It's all over the place. Even, it's in the Bible. It's in all the writings throughout time. Like the 95 versus the 5, if you conform to somebody's fouled viewpoint, like, that becomes your new narrative, and you're literally just going to go along for the ride. And there's only 5% of the people out there that are not doing that. And that is the difference between success and failure: creation versus conforming. Didn't mean to kind of segue into that, but like, it just all starts to make a lot of sense. It really does. Let's just go through the rest. Adam Schiff lying? No. Adam Schiff never lies. Are you kidding me, Stephen? Did you see that? Adam Schiff lying?
Great, Chris. I mean, you started businesses, though. I mean, how about Barack Obama here? Listen to this. He just said this week.
Thank you.
That you didn't build that. Somebody else made that happen.
If you've got a business, Chris, you didn't build that. Somebody else made that happen. I guess
you've got a business. You didn't build that.
I don't know. He came out with this interview this week. That was just unbelievable. Some of the stuff he was saying.
Yeah. I don't know. And Kamala and Colbert lie about Russia collusion. Anyway, there's so much about Russia collusion. All right, MLK files released. I haven't read that yet, but Martin Luther King, like, I'd love to know what happened there.
Yeah, when I was in Memphis, we drove by, the balcony where he was shot. It's definitely a place it's got an energy to it. That's for sure. I mean, he was an unbelievable leader and
talk about an unbelievable speaker and somebody that just literally led by just pure passion, pure belief, like, in faith. That's, I think, the biggest thing. And I've been reading a lot about that, but yeah, he's just truly amazing, man.
Yeah. I mean, they're saying, they just released all these files for the first time digitized for people to kind of look through. They're saying experts said does not appear to be any major revelations in the files that were released, but I think it's good that they're releasing just whatever they do have on it. I mean, it's always been a little controversial, who took them out. And we really go down that rabbit hole. That's another one of those tinfoil hat ones, like, who really took them out and why. And
it's just pure hate, man. It was just hatred at its finest hour. That's all that was. Kind of a lot like what you got going on over there with, the Gaza Strip and Palestine and Israel. It's just raw hatred. Some of the shit I see about that is just insane. But we're not on that. We're on the U.S. How about RFK's fight in organ harvesting? Didn't know they were doing that. They're harvesting organs from people that aren't even dead yet. Did you see that?
Yeah. What is that about? Let me pull this up. I have not read this one yet.
Well, yeah, the hospitals in the United States have been procuring organs from patients who were still showing signs of life.
Wow. I mean, that's always been like the thing that people say, like, don't put an organ donor on your license, because if you're right there and they need those organs, they might just take them from you if they know they can.
And is that true? Stephen Colbert's canceled? Is that real?
Yeah. So CBS came out 2 nights ago and announced that they are canceling Stephen Colbert and the Late Show. So after all those years with David Letterman and all the amazing television that he produced, Stephen Colbert's ending that for good.
And just as we wrap this segment, what's going on over there in Minneapolis? Skinneapolis, we call it up here in the Buffalo parts.
Oh, so Minneapolis elected a Somalian guy as their mayor, which is interesting. But this was just a video of them celebrating afterwards. I mean, being this is America, it's kind of interesting. But
sorry, can you pause that, Stephen? You got to change that. Like you got the wrong language. You just flip that switch that makes it.
This is not AI automatically translating. This is the video.
This was live?
So there you go. The new mayor of Minneapolis.
All right. Can anyone translate that? What did he say? What did he say? He's the mayor of Skinneapolis. Like, this is the U.S. Like, but hold on. The same shit's going on in my state. Zoran or Zorhan or whatever the hell you call him. Everything's free. Play that video. It's all free. Unless you own a business, unless you're a real estate investor that owns real estate, then you have to just give that shit away for free.
Click or click.
He doesn't even know how to click the button.
What is your name?
Jesus.
Let's see. Fast free bus. What did that say? Fast free buses, rent freezes. Who the fuck is going to pay for the rent freeze? So, hey, just like in New York during COVID, like, hey, you don't have to pay your rent. You can't be evicted. Oh, but homeowners and property owners and real estate investors. Oh, no. You got to pay your property taxes. You got to pay your utilities. You got to pay your water, or we're going to fucking take your house. You got to pay the mortgage. You got to pay all the bills, but your tenants do not have to pay rent. Makes a lot of sense, you son of a... All right. We got to get on to another topic. We really, really got to get off this U.S. shit because I just can't handle it anymore. So let's move over and let's talk about the world. All right. So world news. I believe yesterday was the shortest day recorded in history. In other words, the world sped up. So it was the shortest day. I was thinking yesterday went by really fast, like a couple milliseconds faster. I felt that shit. How about you, Stephen?
I was wondering. I went to bed and I was like, I feel like this day was not as long as normal.
Well, the scientists have actually figured out it wasn't. The Earth actually spun a few milliseconds faster, and we all felt it. Man, I felt the same thing, dude. I'm laying in bed and I'm thinking to myself, where did the day go?
It wasn't just you, Chris. It was real.
In other news, oh gosh, fast days. U.S. Olympic officials bar transgender women from women competitions. No! Oh! All that work to get transgenders into the Olympics, and now they just banned it? What? That was such a major victory, getting transgender. Oh, I'm sorry. We're not on CNN today.
New York
What
Times.
a victory for the United States of America and the world. Transgenders no longer can compete against women. Crazy. Anything you have to say about that?
Thank goodness the adults are back in charge, because
no child's play here, Stephen. No child's play. I'm literally like, I feel like we're in a movie right now.
Yeah.
Where you say something and you're just like, you don't say.
Well,
I'm waiting for like the audience to comment in on this, because like, yeah, big win. That was the comment. RCF
last night, I was like, "There's
big win." That's all we got. Big win.
I don't know, man.
And then Brandon comes in. Big win for women. Big win. No. Big win for women. Wag the dog. Oh my goodness. Oh my
Today's
goodness.
show has been interesting. I did warn you last night, though, Chris. I did text you guys and say I'm going to put a bunch of really dumb stuff on today's show agenda because it seems to be a dumb week in the news.
Oh my goodness. All right. Well,
Let me bring it back though, real
dumb.
fast. Let me bring it back to the Japanese tariff. I mean, that's kind of a world news story, and I did get the one you were talking about. So Trump sets the 15% tariff, but it wasn't 900 billion you were speaking of. So as part of the agreement, Trump said Japan would invest at his direction $550 billion into the U.S., which will receive 90% of those profits.
900, 550. I mean, that was close. What the hell did I come up with 900 billion? Wasn't that the amount that that was the bailout package for the Great Recession? I still can't get that out of my head.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, anything else you got on this segment, or should we move on to the next amazing, just super popular commercial?
Oh yeah, well, hold on. Just on the world. I mean, just a quick update. I mean, I thought this. So a year ago, this was just this year. So a year ago, the media were insisting that securing the border required passing a massive immigration bill that still allowed 5,000 illegals crossing per day. Obviously one of the biggest bullshit stories in recent political history, but this just came out.
You will hit the border with Mexico, where there is little question that Trump is fulfilling a campaign promise.
All illegal entry will immediately be halted.
In a matter of months, migrant crossings have hit record lows. Apprehensions at the southern border dropped to 6,072 in the month of June, a massive reduction from the 83,532 apprehensions recorded in June of last year.
So there you go. So Trump, just by pure being Trump, made a huge difference in what was going on with this country. So quick update right there 1 year later. All right, move on.
That's insane. Did he ever finish the wall? Remember the wall? No, it's not done. All right. Well, let's move on. We're going to go to a commercial break, and we'll be right back after this.
Money making money.
Come on. You got to tell me, how is this even possible?
It's easy. 1, take your money and you put it in this secret spot. 2, you let that money grow with compound interest. 3, then you find a place for that money to go where it can work for you. 4, and then every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern, you join me for a wealth webinar.
I'll do it.
It's free. Plus, if you join me now, you'll get my free ebook that teaches you to get all the money back for every car you buy, drive, and own. So take advantage of this opportunity, and I'll see you there.
Actually, for some reason, that was the wrong commercial. But now I'm going to get into the right commercial. And here it is.
My fellow Americans.
So you know the thing.
All right. So this is my favorite segment. What were you saying, Stephen? Did I click the wrong one again?
No, you're good. USA, I love it. So this was sent in from one of our money mentors actually this week. I'll share it real quick, Chris. So he sent us this article. President Trump just came out yesterday and said, we are thinking about no taxes on capital gains for houses in this country. What do you think about that?
What? Here's what I think of that, Stephen. What the What? That's what I think of that. Oh, I love it. Love it. Yeah. Do you think that's actually feasible? You think that can actually happen? And are they going to go retro with that? Just asking for a friend.
Yeah.
That would
I doubt it. I don't think so. And I doubt it. How about this one? Even better. Ron DeSantis coming out and saying he's actively campaigning to get rid of property taxes in this country.
In this country or in your country called Florida?
Well, I think he's starting with Florida, but it's a national push he's trying to make it part of. So what do you think about no property taxes? Would that be a good thing?
Yeah, I'm not going to tell you how much my property taxes are, but let me just tell you that would be a really good thing. Oh, yeah. That'd be a really freaking good thing because we could help a lot more kitty cats by donating to more shelters. And yeah, anyway.
Well, all I'll say on both those topics is don't get your hopes up. But
all right, I'm not. But you know what? There's some more what the F things, and we got to cover these because they're just freaking unbelievable. And I want to go right to Hunter Biden. How many of you watched Hunter Biden's interview? Like, I mean, I got a potty mouth. I'll admit that. But like that, on national television, like I would put aside my swearing, but Hunter Biden just couldn't do that. So do you want to play? Do you have that? Do you want to play that?
I got a quick 2-minute clip of it. That's
I
pretty
mean, all we
good.
need is like the first 30 seconds, when he's being Hunter Biden.
Hey, we'll play this one.
Opinions.
I can't wait to see the memes on this.
Fuck him and everybody around him. I don't have to be fucking nice. Number one, I agree with Quentin Tarantino. Fucking George Clooney is not a fucking actor. He is a fucking I don't know what he is. He's a brand. And by the way, and God bless him. You know what? He supposedly treats his friends really well. You know what I mean? Buys them things. And he's got a really great place in Lake Como. And he's great friends with Barack Obama. Fuck you. What do you have to do with fucking anything? Why do I have to fucking listen to you? What right do you have to step on a man who's given 52 years of his fucking life to the service of this country and decide that you, George Clooney, are going to take out basically a full-page ad in the fucking New York Times to me and James Carville, who hasn't run a race in 40 fucking years, and David Axelrod, who had one success in his political.
So he just rips into all kinds of Democrats, the Bond Save America bros, things like that. But just to give you a quick highlight, so this was a 3-hour interview he did with a guy named Channel 5 News, his big YouTube channel. But here's some of the highlights. In the span of 3 hours, Hunter Biden gave step-by-step instructions on how to cook crack, trashed Nancy Pelosi and claimed she secretly hates Kamala, told Nancy Pelosi's daughter to fuck herself, said Joe Biden was strung out on Ambien during the Trump debate, blamed Obama, Axelrod, Pod Save America, and Clooney for staging a coup against his father, admitted his family relies on illegal alien slave labor, threatened to invade El Salvador to retrieve gang members, confessed the Russian disinformation laptop was his. Oh, that was another big hoax, if you remember that. Claimed Israel allowed the October 7th attack to justify invading Gaza, argued crack is cleaner and safer than alcohol. I saw that clip. It was pretty entertaining. And defended cheating on his taxes. We may have found Jasmine Crockett's 2028 running mate, but I did watch a lot of those clips, Chris, and they're wild.
When you read that, you got to ask yourself, do I kind of like this guy or do I hate this guy? Like, it's kind of like, I'm on the fence, man. I'm on the fence. Let me put a video out on how to cook crack. Interesting. All I can tell you about crack is as growing up, all I remember is that commercial with the egg. And this is your egg on crack, or this is your brain on crack. Yeah, the egg one. So no crack for me, man. But hey, listen, to each their own. And that is definitely their own. Mr.
And keep in mind, Hunter Biden also can do and say anything he wants. He has a full blanket pardon for everything that he's ever done. And remember, they vehemently said they were never going to Biden would never pardon his son and things like that. Just a quick little 19-second video on what that looked like.
The president would not pardon or commute the sentence for his son, Hunter. I just want to make sure that is not going to change over the next 6 months. The president's saying it would not.
It's still a no. It's still a no.
It will always be a no.
It's still a no. It will be a no. It is a no. And I don't have anything else to add. Will he pardon his?
It's a no, Stephen. It's just a no. And then he gets pardoned. But
then he got a full pardon.
But hold on. Did Biden pardon Hunter? Or did the magic pen do the pardon on Hunter?
Exactly.
So that is the real question we need to be asking yourself. Just say no to drugs, folks. Just say no to drugs. That's all I'm going to say about that one. Anyway, moving back on to Mr. Kevin O'Leary. Didn't he say something really funny about Hunter Biden? Do we have that clip?
Kevin O'Leary's always got some bangers, man. He's
this was a banger, if I'm not mistaken. I did see this.
He's one of my favorites right now out there. But here we go.
The last four.
Very helpful
Think about Joe Biden,
former President Biden
as a servant for all those years, a phenomenal public servant. The last four, a little tough. If that was my son, I'd beat him with a stick. And he's giving to his family the trashing of the Biden brand. I don't agree with Biden's policies, but I respect him for his long service. He was a phenomenal politician for a long time. The end was bad, but this is, I mean, I'm outraged at him. If that was my son, I would take him behind the barn and I'd beat him with a stick.
Keep going. I got something funny I'm finding here real quick.
No, that was it on that one. But it's like, okay, I got one for you. So we were talking about the the journalists earlier just repeating whatever, repeating. So we do need to get them to do this, Chris, somehow for BYOB. But here's another quick little montage for you just for fun.
It's priceless, especially on a birthday.
A child's happiness is priceless, especially on a birthday.
A child's happiness is priceless, especially on a birthday.
Well, child's happiness is priceless, right? Especially on a birthday.
A child's happiness is priceless, especially on a birthday. A child's happiness is priceless, especially on a birthday.
A child's happiness is priceless, especially on their birthday.
It goes on and on and on and on. And then you watch some of these. I mean, there's just more and more videos.
Our greatest responsibility is to serve our
Treasure Valley communities,
the El Paso, Las Cruces communities,
Eastern Iowa communities,
Mid-Michigan communities.
We are extremely proud of the quality, balanced journalism that CBS 4 News produces.
But
we are concerned about trouble and treating irresponsible, one-sided news stories plaguing our country.
So they're just script readers, which is wild. But all right, what you got?
Oh, I totally froze my computer. I got so many windows up and so many things going on. I froze it. But I was trying to pull up that scene from National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation where the FBI's in the house and he says, if that were I'd beat him with a rubber hose or something like that. I was trying to find that one.
That's a good one.
Anyway, all right. That is the bird is flown on that one. College NFL. You want to hit on that one?
So college sports. Yeah, college sports a while back allowed for athletes to be paid through what's called NIL, which is name and likeness. So they can get paid, for sponsorships and things like that. But this was Texas, University of College Football, Texas. So their coach came out and was like, we want every player who's coming for the school and the culture, that we don't want them here because of the money. We don't talk about the NIL or revenue share or publicity rights until the very end. Well, here's the Texas, them greeting. Lined up with Lamborghini.
Even all I can say is all those players right there need to learn how to get all the money back for every Lambo they ever buy driving over.
Absolutely. I mean, that's college football. I mean, so it just goes to show you how much money's
they're getting paid millions of dollars, but they're not, obviously they got no skills when it comes to how money works and how to make money work for them. They're going out there just blowing it, and they're going to be broke ass brothers and broke ass mothers out there trying to pay for things. And Hunter Biden, he's teaching people how to cook crack. So anyway, don't even know where that came from. But let's
I got a crazy one for you.
Let's see it.
Do you believe in ghosts?
Yeah.
Do you believe in the supernatural, the afterlife?
Yeah, totally.
All right, so this is crazy.
Seen it firsthand.
Right? So this will take me 2 minutes, but paranormal investigator Dan Rivera found deceased while touring with the demonically possessed Annabelle doll. So the senior lead investigator for New England Society for Psychic Research was found deceased in his hotel room. The doll's origin dates back to 1968 when it was allegedly given to a nurse who brought it back home where her roommate lived. Almost immediately, the roommates noticed strange occurrences with the doll, and they were introduced to a medium who told them the doll was inhabited by the spirit of a young girl named Annabelle, the New England Society for Psychic Research claimed. The two roommates tried to accept the doll's spirit and please it only to have it reciprocate maliciousness and violent intent, the group alleges. Paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren previously claimed the doll would follow people around and accused it of causing a car crash involving a priest. Rivera's passing came right after he finished a 3-day sold-out stop in Gettysburg dealing with the doll. It's unclear at the moment what the cause of his death was. So this was right before he died when he was doing this the 3 days prior. Let's play for a second here.
Wild.
In the name of Jesus Christ, Lord,
that's the doll right there.
From any evil, inhuman, or demonic entities that may surround this or infuse in this doll. In the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Amen. I'm going to open up the case. You're going to quickly, man. I mean quick. Grab it and put it in.
Is that Raggedy Ann?
Close it up fast.
Annabelle.
Close it up good. That's good, Dan.
It's a Raggedy Ann doll.
That's all right. In the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou amongst women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, Pray for us.
So they try and free the doll of its spirits, and that night the guy ends up dead in his hotel room. So you tell me, Chris.
I don't really have anything to tell you other than just keep Raggedy Ann dolls away from this office.
That's a F story, though, right?
Wow. Well, let's finish up this WTF section because we call this section just what the F.
What?
Delta, our favorite airline, Stephen, decided to go head-to-head with a B-52 bomber. Thank God that pilot was a little bit on top of things and maneuvered that beast around the B-52 bomber. But let's look at that article.
Yeah, definitely. So Delta pilot makes an aggressive maneuver. I won't play this video. It's 90 seconds long, but basically this video is of the pilot coming on the loudspeaker and telling all of the passengers what just happened, because it was a very evasive maneuver he had to make, and it created some unsettling times within the people riding the plane. But given the speed, I don't know how fast they were going, but they were a lot faster than us. I felt it was the safest thing to do to turn behind it. So sorry about the aggressive maneuver. It caught me by surprise. It's not normal at all. I don't know why they didn't give us a heads up, because the Air Force Base does have radar. Basically not a fun day at work. So kudos to that Delta Airlines pilot for avoiding travesty there. It could have been very, very bad.
But imagine being on that Delta flight and all of a sudden the thing just makes an aggressive maneuver like that. I mean, a B-52 bomber, if I'm not mistaken, they fly at like 700 miles an hour or something like that. I mean, it's a massive plane, so if you got two planes kind of going head to head, one's going 700, one's 500 and some, like it doesn't take long to close a lot of distance between them. So, whew, man, imagine if you were sitting in the window seat on the side where the B-52 bomber goes by your side of the plane. Like what's going through your head there?
Oh, I can't even imagine. What a wild story. But to end WTF, Chris, just because it is what the F, I feel like I have to play this last minute long video that was over the last couple days of just kind of the topic of our show, what the F. And Washington Post came out a couple days ago staying with an article saying Democrats try a new tone, less scripted, more cursing, Trumpier results. So are they trying to copy what Trump does? But check this out real fast. This is, let's see. This is kind of just encapsulates the entire show, Chris, of what this looks like. So here we go. So Jon Stewart, Hunter Biden, Stephen Colbert from this week, all telling you what they think.
Go fuck yourself! 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 Go fuck yourself!
Fuck him and everybody around him. Or not to be fucking nice. Number one, I agree with Quentin Tarantino. Fucking George Clooney is not a fucking actor. He is a fucking I don't know what he is. He's a brand. Fuck you. What do you have to do with fucking anything? Why do I have to fucking listen to you? Pod Save America guys who were junior fucking speechwriters.
I gotta say, it makes sense we'd be canceled. I get it, guys. And thanks again. Okay, thanks again to the network. In a completely unrelated story, on Friday, Donald Trump posted, "I absolutely love that Colbert got fired. His talent was even less than his ratings." How dare you, sir? Would an untalented man be able to compose the following satirical witticism? Go f yourself.
Oh my gosh.
So there you have it.
Wow. All right. Well, I can't think of a better way to put this show down than that. But hey, folks, make sure you all join us this afternoon at 1 p.m. Eastern on Wealth Webinar, where we're going to be showing you how to take back control of your money by you becoming your own bank and lots more. So join us at 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern this afternoon. You can register by going to chrisnaugle.com. With that being said, Stephen, it has been an honor. It has been a joy to watch you literally turn white about what's going on. And with that, we're going to end the show.